little bit of turbo lag, and let's go. Front wheel drive. There we go. It's got some good torque for sure. I like it. I mean, it's in Ghost. It's got some decent power, I'll be honest. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. This is Peter. I hope everybody's having a fantastic holiday season. Today, we're going to get to review and test drive this 2023 Nissan Rogue SV. And I'm pretty excited as I've never really got behind the wheel of a Nissan SUV as of recently. Now, before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to Bartow Ford for allowing me some time with this Nissan Rogue. A big thank you to Tim, and I'll put all their information and a link to their website in the description below. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have a 2023 Nissan Rogue SV. Now, this one that we have with us here is slightly pre-owned. It's only got just over 3,400 miles, and the asking price, I believe, is just under $27,000. Now, as you know, this Nissan Rogue here is basically introduced in 2021, this particular generation. I like it. It's a very handsome looking SUV. I think it's a much better looking SUV than the prior generation. Really nice LED daytime running lights. We'll look at them in just a few moments. We got 18-inch wheels as well. This being the SV model, it's a little bit lower trimmed. Of course, there are 4 trims to the Nissan Rogue. There's the S, the SV, we have the SL, and the Premium. This one here, you're looking at a base price of just under $29,000 for this Nissan Rogues, the S. And then, of course, this is a little more, probably going to the lower 40s for the Premium or the Premium version of the Nissan Rogue. Now, this one here that we have with us here being an SV, it's a kind of lower version SV. This got no premium package or anything like that, but it does have the 18-inch wheels. You got a really nice pearl paint. This has got the charcoal cloth interior, got a bit of aluminum trim here. I think it's a pretty handsome looking SUV. 18-inch wheels really look the part. I really like them. This is kind of a bit of aluminum wheel with a little bit of dark gray accents in the middle there. These are wrapped around 235 millimeter Falcon CX all-season tires, which are pretty good tires. This thing's only got 3,400 miles, so it's basically brand new tires as well. Got a bit of a tint from factory, like the white mirrors as well here. As you can see, a bit of aluminum trim going around. This has got no sunroof or anything like that, as it's a base SV. But coming around over here at the front, as you can see, we have daytime running lights here. They're off right now, but do have some LED daytime running lights and also LED headlights as well. See, this headlights are kind of the split pattern here, as you can see. Usually they do this because obviously the lower the light, it doesn't blind oncoming traffic as much as this can sometimes hit a little higher. But I like that kind of split or kind of divorced lighting, as they usually call this nowadays in a lot of the new SUVs. This is kind of the theme that's going on. As you can see, we got a nice chrome grille here on the very front, really nice with a black gloss part of the center here. We got the new Nissan logo, which I really love that Nissan logo. I really like that kind of in a grayish white pattern there. And you can see we got a bit of aluminum here on the very bottom. I like the way this is kind of like a V pattern for the Nissan. I like the hood. I mean, this is a really well designed Nissan Rogue. I like it. And of course, you know, for 2024, Nissan is doing basically a mid-cycle refresh to this Nissan Rogue. So they changed a little bit of styling for 2024. Bit of interior stuff as well in the rear. So as soon as I can get my hands on one of those 2024 Nissan Rogues, I'll bring you guys. Now coming here to the back of this Nissan Rogue, as you can see, now this one here being a base SV, we got no type of powered basically hatchback, because this we kind of go manual. Here's the key, just take a look at the key. Pretty much a base key, but it's got a really nice, got a little nice Nissan logo there. We got open close, remote start, and we do have the panic button here. So let's go ahead and open up the rear hatch for this Nissan Rogue. Just open it up here, and we're gonna get that going up here. As you can see, we do have a reverse camera as well, the Nissan logo there, and the SV badge here. And I really love to see, you can see then the sun, that we get a bit of a metallic flake in that pearl white. There we go, guys. Here we have the back of this Nissan Rogue. Pretty spacious. We got 37 cubic feet of space here in the back, with the seats you can definitely fold down like an 80/20. We also have, as you can see, we got a mat here. That's a Nissan Rogue mat. That's part of this one here. I don't see any type of connections, nothing like that. Just some hooks and all that stuff. That's really basically what you get for this base Nissan. Other than that, if we lift this up, we do have at least a spare tire here in the back. It's more of a space-saving spare tire, but at least you got a spare tire. I see a connection there to the tire. That means it must be monitoring the tire pressure. At least that's a good common thing, because usually when you have a tire here in the back, sometimes people don't touch them for anything for years and this thing's deflate. That happened to me. I checked my tire before I got a flat, but that was another issue I had with my Ford Escape. But I would definitely suggest checking your spare tire, because sometimes those spare tires do go flat over time, and I'm glad this is connected. It's gonna keeps pressure, or keeps a check on the pressure. But other than that, guys, there we go, guys. 37 square feet to this Nissan Rogue. It's pretty nice. I see there's a bit of aluminum trim here to protect the bumper here when you get ingress and egress of things here, so that's pretty cool the way that is. But other than that, guys, there we go. Pretty much space. There's no connection. There'll probably be the button here if you have that premium package to bring this down automatically, but since we don't have anything like that, you gotta bring this down manually. A little bit of thing here, and just put this thing down, and there we go. And coming here to the engine bay of this Nissan Rogue, and I just pulled the lever here to the left to open up the hood. We have no hydraulic assistance at all, so basically this is a manual hood. And go ahead and grab the little hood rod and pop up, then just book it in there where the hole is indicated. So here we have the 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is producing 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque. This is going through a CVT transmission, direct continuously variable transmission, going through the front wheels. This is front-wheel drive. Obviously, you can get the Nissan offers for about $1,500 the option of all-wheel drive in this Nissan Rogues. Obviously, one of the Achilles heel obviously is the CVT transmission in this Nissan's. Also, the past few years, or 10 or so years, when they introduced this Nissan or this CVT transmission, they've had their ups and downs in terms of reliability. I'm not owning one myself, but of course you hear that these things maybe go out at 30, 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles. I think it was all down to the oil changes that people didn't do, or the dealerships didn't kind of suggest doing. I know it's kind of thing, it's a kind of controversy, but I don't think it's a bad transmission. Obviously, if Nissan's already kind of being updated in these things, it should be pretty nice and pretty reliable. 30 miles in the city, 37 miles on the highway. Those are the fuel figures from Nissan. I'll put those up on the screen for you guys. But there we go, guys. Pretty good. As you can see, it's super clean. This has only got 3,400 miles. Has a VC turbo engine. It's a pretty smooth power plant. I did find it smoother than the Ford's 1.5-liter 3-cylinder engine that I kind of recently driven in the Ford Bronco Sports and Escape. So there's the power plant of this Nissan Rogue. Let's go ahead and put the prop down, and there we go. Let's go ahead and check out the interior of this Nissan Rogue. Now, I really like this interior. I was really kind of impressed with the way this is. It's kind of more like a semi-upscale the way this is. We get a bit of a brown upper trim here, as you can see. And this is pretty, it's a little hard, but it's nice. It's kind of a mix of softness and hard. We get a bit of a cloth on the side here as well, which is really nice. Kind of matches the cloth also on the seats. Kind of mixed leather here, of imitation leather. Really nice the way this is. Just a single little cup holder that's for your things. Not a lot of space for the rear passengers. We got this really nice seats as well, cloth seats. This is called charcoal. Got a mix of different patterns of different colors here for the cloth. We got a bit of darkish gray here, the same as on the door. I really like it with the more dark cloth here. A bit of stitching there, white stitching. You can see really nice. You can also bring the seats on as well. You can go ahead and just put the seats on with a little lever here. That's pretty nice. We got some side airbags there as well with the seat belts, with some cup holders here, as you can see. So that's very nice. You can see you got the center headrest there. And let's go ahead and jump in and see how spacious this is. Actually, it's pretty spacious. The seats look like it's set far back here, but it's pretty nice. I think this might have a little more space than, for example, I just did a Ford Bronco Sport, and definitely it's got a little more room than the Ford Escape. I think this is a little bit roomy. It's got about decent, pretty good size headroom as well. I'm about 5'11". I still got a couple of inches, and I see this thing's pretty far set back as well. We do have a pocket here as well. No pocket here for the driver's side. But here we have a gray headliner here, as you can see. We got some lights here as well for the back. A bit of handlebars here for handles for the back. And that's about it. Here in the middle, we do have at least some AC outlets, and we do have a couple of USB ports as well. So that's awesome that this handling has, even though it's more of a base model, you have AC outlets and USB ports there for your back passengers, which is nice. The seats are very comfortable. I don't see these things don't have any type of adjustments or anything like that. So these seats are basically set, but they're pretty comfortable as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and head to the front. I really like that. And heading to the driver's side of this Nissan Rogue. As you can see, guys, coming here, really nice the way this is. I really love the color scheme of this. Is the brown with the light gray cloth. Really kind of makes it elegant and kind of modern looking. I really like that. Soft pattern here, of course. Controls for your windows and the mirrors and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple of cup holders there to put some things there. Obviously, we come to your power seats here. Really nice. I mean, I really love this cloth seats. It's got a pretty decent bolstering, as you can see, but I love this two-tone cloth. Really works well, and I love that this cloth kind of resembles, and it's basically the same as the one on the doors. Really goes well. I do love that combination of the brown with the gray, of course. That really works well. I really like when Nissan is very elegant looking, very upscale overkill, in my opinion. Obviously, the materials are really nice as well. Bit of aluminum trim here, as you can see. Really well executed cockpit, kind of similar to the Altimas and what Nissan's done to the sedans, but they kind of bring that over to this Nissan Rogue as well. I don't know if they've done any changes to the interior as far as the 2024 Rogue that is coming up right now with the mid-cycle refresh, but we'll see that recently if I'll get my hands on the new one. But love the Nissan logo here. Bit of this one doesn't have any type of leather on the steering wheel. It's more plastic, but you get that on the upper trim if you get the premium package. This does not have a little bit of aluminum trim there as well, but overall I really like the way this ergonomics and the dash layout is. Very, very nice. Looks like very user friendly. We got plenty of visibility on this SUV, even though we don't have a sunroof or anything like that. I like how the cowl is very low as well. Really excellent the way this design, this dash is very simple, but kind of seems kind of quality to me, especially with the colors, the brown color with a bit of the soft touch here, with a bit of the actual stitching here on the dash. Really makes it feel car quality with a bit of aluminum trim, as you can see here. Plenty of space here on the bottom, as you can see. Lots of space here on the bottom. Plenty to put a lady's purse or anything like that, or your McDonald's or your burgers down there. Once you pick it up right below the center console, which really is a very excellent design. Coming up here, guys, we'll start over here. We got the SOS button. We have a black button. We have also just controls for your lights. Of course, place to put your sunglasses. Looks like we got a passenger off right now as well. That's really cool. Basically your rearview mirror. Other than that, we got a gray, light gray headliner, which is not bad at all. This kind of gets dirty. Not my favorite color for a headliner, but it does work. Now, as you can see, I love that brown color on basically on the top of the dash. Really works well with the lighter. Just kind of put it all well together. Love the design of the instrumentation. The 8-inch screen here works very nice as well, as you can see. Before we go on, let's go ahead and hear this, and we're going to close the door just to get a little more quietness. Let's hear this 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 3. It's not very eager to rev. Sounds very similar to Ford's 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. It does seem smoother than 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine. Let's go ahead and close the door. Let's go ahead and check out the glove box. You can see I didn't find the manual, but this is so new. This is not even wrapped. This is still in its new package. So crazy how this thing is so brand new. I don't know what the story with this Nissan Rogue is it's only got 3,409 miles. So you can see this is pretty much a brand new vehicle. Coming here to starting on the top, we got the 8-inch screen here. This is Nissan's Connect system. Of course, you got audio. We have no type of navigation or anything like that, just on radio, all that stuff, settings. I don't know if you got some ambient lighting as well. We got clock connection, sound. Of course, this has got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all the great things. We got basically a tune button here as well. And let's go back to audio, which is really good. This has got probably a 6-speaker radio, if I'm correct. Fine. Yeah, it's got a pretty decent sound system. I like it. It's pretty not bad. It doesn't have any upgrade on the sound system, but more of your basic speaker system. Down here, we do have a dual zone AC, which is really nice. We got see digital readouts for your temperature. We got very easy controls. You can see everything's really nice, well placed and well laid out. I really like that. Very nice design and clean. Down here, we have 12 connections on this side. I'm sorry, 2 USB ports A and C, and we have your start button right there. A little more space here to put your phone or anything like that. No wireless charging. This is not included with this one. You have your CVT transmission, couple of cup holders, park and brake, your auto hold when you come to a light. We'll put that on. Basically, your drive modes. We got 3 drive modes. You can see Sport, Standard, and Echo. We can leave it on Sport because that's the type of channel we are. As you can see, we have plenty of a lot of room beneath the center console. Opening up this center part here as well. You can see there's no connections like that, just a little more room to put your stuff there. I like that the way that opens, kind of split the way that is. Really cool the way that is. And we have a little bit of stitching here with a bit of a dark or a hard kind of leather right here on this center armrest here. Love the seats. I really love the way the pattern this is. I really love the combination of the brown. I think Nissan did a really nice job, and I love the locale. Even though you're sitting here, I really love the locale of this Nissan, kind of similar to Honda's, the way they do that. They come into the instrumentation here, do the steering wheel, very solid, very nice steering wheel. This is all plastic, doesn't have any leather. They'll get leather on the premium package. As I mentioned, the premium package will include the heated seats, the kind of fake leatherette, the sunroof, a little bit better materials around, different colors. You have heated seats, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats as well. A little more upscale stuff, and of course you're going to get the powered rear hatch as well with that premium package. It's about $2,500 as well. But coming back here, you got basically your controls for your cruise control. You got controls here for your center screen. As you can see, we got the manual reset button, tire pressures, radio, all kinds of things. Looks like you got your bit of graphics for your cruise control there. And going back to the center screen, as you can see, we'll leave it in the digital speedometer. Digital, we got analog tachometer and speedometer. Other than that, we got some pedals here as well for the CVT transmission. I don't know why. Obviously, you want to imitate some changes. That's what's all good for. We got controls here for your lights and your windshield wipers. Other than that, everything's very well executed. Love the bit of aluminum trim that's also here as well. All the controls here for your windows are very clearly placed and all that. I can see really well executed Nissan. I'm pretty impressed with this Nissan Rogue, considering its price range. But this is what it is. Go out for a test shot. Before we do that, let's go ahead and test our reverse camera. I'm gonna press our brake and press a little lever here and put this thing up towards the front and doing the reverse. As you can see, we got the graphics on the camera. Actually, they're not bad. We got some trajectory lines. As you can see now, you have to press the gas to go. But there we go. We do have some sensors there. You can see, you can hear that going on. This is a very low stop, so it's not really detecting it, but I did hear some beeps as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and go for a drive. We are on sport mode, and we got that auto hold. I'm actually gonna hold it because this thing is a little bit too harsh on that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and head out on a drive on this Nissan Rogue SV 2023. Really nice. I mean, I really like the interior. It's kind of more upscale. Really feels really nice. Definitely a much better interior, say, than the Ford Escape. Even some of the competition. This is really nice. You can see that the hood is very low. Really nice visibility. Rear mirror is nice. This feels a very nice, open up, spacious cockpit. Really airy cockpit. As I feel it. Really nice the way this Nissan Rogue is designed and feel. Love the interior design for sure. Now, of course, the Achilles heel of this Nissan assisted power plant. Sometimes it's a smallish power plant for this type of SUV, even though some of these competitors kind of use the same type of, engines and type of power. The biggest thing for this Nissan is obviously the CVT transmission. I see a lot of people sometimes think that this transmission don't last too long, or it's a kind of a thing that they wouldn't purchase this car because of the engine, the transmission, excuse me. But overall, I didn't find it too bad. I think you just have to maintain these transmissions and just keep them up to date. But all right, let's go ahead and go out for the test drive on this Nissan Rogue. And I see a car coming. I'm just gonna kind of stop here a little bit. Let's wait for this. He's gonna go straight. I'm just gonna stop here for a second to let the gentleman go and kind of see how this thing turns in a little bit. The steering wheel does feel a little bit light. Now this thing shut off because it's got the auto off. If we press that hold to hold, that should come off. But actually, no, no. There we go. Oh, well, I'm gonna shut it off. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get out. No off-road mode on this one here, but it's got some good torque. And let's see, no brakes. I'm gonna see how this thing handles. Actually, it feels pretty decently nice. You can tell it's gonna understeer once you push it. But now, in terms of drivability with this CVT transmission, sometimes it's very windy, makes the engine very noisy. This is pretty quiet so far. I haven't really hit the hammer yet, but I'm gonna come to a stop and see how this accelerates here from kind of a dig, and see how this goes. I'll remember 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque. A bit of turbo lag. Very smooth transmission. You can't feel the imitation shifts, but it gets up and goes pretty decently. Nothing crankly, but it's got plenty of power. Very smooth. The engine feels super smooth. This is actually a much smoother engine than the Ford's 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine in the Escape and the for example, the Bronco Sport that I recently drove. Not the one that I drove recently, but the ones in the Bronco Sport and the ones in the Ford Escape definitely feel a little more noisier and not as smooth. This is definitely a much smoother engine, I'll be honest. And then it shuts off again. I hate that. I don't know if there's a button to shut that off. I don't see it, but we got the auto hold, which kind of holds it, then turns on the engine once you go. But let's go before the fire truck comes. Get out of its way, because that thing's probably headed to the hospital straight away. Now, I really like this SUV. It feels very comfortable to drive, very quiet. I'm surprised how quiet it is. I haven't really taken it up to speed yet, but let's see how this handles. I'm gonna kind of quiet down a little bit to see how this feels for you guys. Now this also has Nissan's, of course, blind spot monitoring. You got cross traffic alert, rear traffic alert, all kinds of things that Nissan Pro Piloting gives you as well, which is kind of the norm for all the SUVs and everything, every car being built nowadays. But the ergonomics feels good. The suspension is very smooth, does not feel floaty or anything like that. It's got a really nice smooth ride with good feedback as well. It doesn't feel floaty or anything like that. Let me give it a little bit of gas. Yeah, it got plenty of power. It does good up and go. It's got good power, I'll be honest. I mean, it's a 1.3 liter turbocharged, but it's got 201 horsepower, which is not bad. Definitely a little more horsepower, say, than the Ford Escape. Most of its competitors, like the Chevy, I would say, is it the Equinox that got 4-cylinder, probably the same turbocharged. Of course, your Kia and Hyundai also have a turbocharged engines. The Nissan, for example, Toyota's RAV4, it's got a normally aspirated inline 4, which is got a rabbit, but it's got pretty decent power. But this is very nice. Kind of feels like a mix of kind of a hybrid engine with the turbo, but it does feel very nice. Very smooth power plant. I'm finding the CVT to be very well behaved. It's not whiny, it's not noisy, it doesn't make the engine very feel like a rubber. It actually drives very well, really nice. I'm impressed with the power plant right now, considering some of the Nissans and people would say. But as long as you maintain them, this should be pretty decently reliable. I mean, it's still a Japanese car. Coming to a stop, this engine's probably gonna shut down. Yeah, there he goes right there. I'm not a fan of that. I prefer the auto hold where it just holds. And I see we got a green. Let's go. A little bit of turbo lag and let's go. Front wheel drive. There we go. It's got some good torque for sure. I like it. I mean, this thing goes. It's got some decent power, I'll be honest. Doesn't feel slow by any means. Obviously, if you get the all-wheel drive system, it's going to give a little bit better push. But, man, this thing is actually not bad at all. Now, in terms of we're in sport mode right now, so it gives a little bit better throttle response. Let's sit back here a little bit and check out how this thing handles. Yeah, it's got some body roll to it. It's pretty direct steering. There's not a lot of feeling to it. But it does go where you point it to. I like the way this feels. It feels light on its feet. It does not feel heavy at all. This thing does about 0 to 60 in about 7.8 seconds, so it's not super fast. But I'll tell you what, it's got plenty of pep for every day, plenty of good down low torque, and the CVT actually is doing a pretty decent job. It's quiet at speed right now. Let's go and give up a little more speed. So we're gonna do 65, almost 70. Very quiet, very smooth engine. Not a lot of wind noise. Very minimal wind noise. Very, very, very minimal road noise. Of course, it's still a brand new SUV with brand new tires, so this is super smooth. This is very much more. I will say this is impressing me more than I thought this Nissan Rogue would do, especially this base model. I like it. This is pretty nice. Rides very nice, quiet, comfortable. I'm sure this thing's got good gas mileage. You're looking 30, 37 in the highway, probably 33, 34 combined. Not a lot of power, but it's got plenty of power for every day, I'm sure. Dual Sony is doing a good job. You got plenty of, obviously, if you go to the premium package, you get the sunroof, you get the heated and cooled seats with the leather red, you got the rear power things. Definitely that package is worth it. Considering this thing is still under about $30,000, this thing would only be a couple more, $3,000 more for those conveniences. I think that's worth it. Of course, the engine's gonna turn on. It's a little bit rough when that thing turns on, but not seamless. But actually, it's not too bad at all. Considering the price point, $28,000 is quite a bit of SUV for the price. I like it. Let me know what you guys think of this 2023 Nissan Rogue. I think it's a very good SUV for the money. Now, I know everybody did Achilles heels with the transmission and people don't trust it probably, but I think Nissan definitely has done a better job of improving the quality and reliability of this transmission. It's very smooth. You can't barely feel it. This is definitely much different than some of the products I've driven before with the CVT, feeling it windy and noisy. This is a totally different feeling of this powertrain, I can definitely tell you. Let's go ahead and go. It's got good punch to it as well. So not a ton of explosive torque, but you can definitely feel that little extra punch really hits down low, which is really nice. So Rogue, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so very much, guys. I appreciate everyone who's subscribing. I'm just trying to get into the hang of it much more videos, especially with the holidays, a little bit tougher, but I'm doing my best to bring as much videos as I can. Guys, been unloading a lot of stuff I did on the LA Auto Show. Hope you guys have been enjoying those quick takes. Sometimes it's not easy to get acquainted with those type of videos. Sometimes you're dealing with people and a lot of things, a lot of noise, but I hope you guys been enjoying some of those, at least quick first looks at those new cars. But very impressed with this Nissan Rogue. In conclusion, yes, this thing is really nice. Very impressive. The interior is really nice. The color combination, the white, plenty of, I really like the way this is laid up. Very smooth engine, plenty of decent power for every day. Great fuel economy, and for about $28,000, this is quite an SUV. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2020 Nissan Rogue. As soon as I get my hands on the 2024 and see the differences, I'll let you guys and I'll put that video up for you guys. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a happy new year, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.